Okay, blessings to you all. Hello and welcome to Inner Landscape and Enchanted Evening. Welcome to my Scorpio friends. This is your monthly reading for June 2018. Now, what I've started doing at the beginning of most of my readings now was asking what the message or messages for the current month that the divine has for you all. And so I asked for you guys before I shuffled or laid down any cards, and I got a very interesting message, a different message than I'm used to getting for you. It was more, well, it was a message, but I've never had it laid out in this way to me. But so I'll just give it to you as I received it. It was more of a panoramic vision. If you can, and I'll just walk you through it. That might be the easiest way, because I'm not going to do a huge attempt at explaining this, because usually if I get a message, I just like to say it as it comes, give it to you, and for you to interpret it the way that you are guided to do, or leave it if it's not for you. But this one, I'm going to walk you through it, and we'll see after I do that what comes up. But so if you close your eyes, just imagine from the right side of you, you hear and then see a part of the ocean, and hear also the waves. So you see and hear the waves, but it's at night, so it's dark. They're not crashing, noisy waves. They're pretty much a calm sea, calm ocean, but you can hear the ebb and flow of the tides, the waves. Pretty calm though, just almost like a trickling ebb and flow of the water, and then it sweeps gently all the way around in almost like a horseshoe shape around to your left side. It swings around, and you get this panoramic view of the rest of the ocean in full. Now you hear the water sounds on your right side and see the full ocean, the panoramic view from the right to the left of an ocean at night. You can kind of see maybe the moonlight bouncing off of the ocean, but it's a beautiful picture because the waters are not choppy, they're pretty calm. And for the most part, just little waves and a few soft crashes of the water on the shore. But for the most part, it's pretty calm and still. But the big key of this is that it's night. That is the message I was vision that I was given for you guys for this month. Now, you all may have different interpretations, several different interpretations of that, but I'm just going to let you know how I'm thinking of it and getting the sense of it in a general way. But whatever way you take that and receive that, and it means something to you, take that. What I'm getting is that there's an expectancy. You're surrounded by all of your feelings, and there are a ton of them. There's a whole ocean of them. They're all splayed out and laid out around you, surrounding you. But they're calm, your emotions, and they run the gamut. But there's just enough space between you and this ocean, just enough sliver of beach between you and this ocean, that there's a calmness to it because there's a bit of a distance. You've been able to separate yourself from them and just still have them around you, collected around you. And the key factor in this is that these are all things that aren't fully in the light. They haven't fully come to the surface yet. They're not fully known. They're there. They're calm. It's almost like they're waiting to be put into use. You have a whole ocean of opportunity, but it's under the surface. It's still subconscious. It's not fully been made aware to your conscious of how to use them to your benefit. That's what I'm getting from that. But it was very clear. It was like a lucid dream with a theater, a theater screen in front of me, like a rolling movie. Anyway, that's interesting, Libras. I'm sorry, not Libras, Scorpios. Very, very interesting, my Scorpio friends. So let's take that as you will, tuck it away. Maybe it'll hit home in other ways later when you're not expecting it or when you have time to reflect more on it. So let's keep going. Let's see what else your source and divine team show for you for this month, and what guidance and advice they have for you for June. Okay. So this first card shows the overarching theme for your month. And this is called, the card is called Isaiah. And this is telling me there's some, is it apprehension? There's some, not a real, true, bothersome worry, but there's some sort of nervousness about how to deal with the situation you're faced with in your life this month. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's almost like jitters, because you're not sure how to go about it. What do you call it when you're nervous? Those people, actors for instance, that will get stage fright, I guess. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad energy. It just means you're revved up and ready to go, but you're not sure how things are going to go. So there's a little bit of nervousness in it, energy in it, but it's not a bad thing because it helps propel you. So it's actually turns out to be a good energy. That's what I'm getting for this. And I'm just going to go ahead and say, and I already realized that not everyone, not all of my Scorpios, might be ready to play this role or to hear this, but some of you, not all of you, but some of you definitely are coming into the position of playing the grandparent role. So some of you are going to be brand new grandparents soon. And I think that's a huge part of the nervous apprehension about how that role will be for you, about how to lend your services, your knowledge, your wisdom, your experience to your son or daughter going through this process, this new parent process. But I get the feeling more so for those who are seeing this, it's more the energy of grandparents and being nervous about their role, maybe not quite ready for it. I'm too young. But that it's a blessing. It's just, and you realize that, and if you don't now, you will, but that you're nervous about your new role. But it'll grow into excitement, not to worry. Oh, sorry, I meant to also mention, and then for some others with this, it's still a nervous energy, a stage fright energy about a new role that is coming up for you all to participate in and play a role in, or to play in. And it's, I want to say, a new project that maybe not you are giving birth to, but that is coming into existence. And there's a definite key role that you're going to have to play in whatever is being birthed, whatever project, whatever situation is being birthed into your awareness and existence, into your life. And you're kind of nervous. It's a big thing, whatever it is. It's a big, monumentous thing being introduced into your life, and you're a bit nervous about how to, not only how to usher it in, but how to be there for it and play your role once it gets here. So, that being said, next I have ground yourself. And this is sort of the root energy, the foundation of what's going on, the overarching theme for this month. It shows that you're in a good place for what's taking place this month around you and for you. You're in a very good place. You're This is strongly connected to the water, the night ocean scene that I mentioned in the beginning as a message. Very strongly connected to that. And I mentioned also how stable and good those energies felt, with the waters being calm, and just was a very good, pregnant energy to that message. The waters being there and ready to come to the surface, but it's not been, manifest or brought to the surface yet, but they're ready. The energies and the waters are there, ready and waiting to be put to use. They're at your disposal. Very good energy. Lots of latent energy for you to work with. Positive energy. And it's stable energy. The fact that it was so calm and assuring, those waters, it really spelled out to me that it lent to stable energy, and that's what this card is referencing. Back to that initial message God has given you for this month. You're on firm, stable, fertile ground for so many what's the word? So much growth, so many fruits and things to come into fruition for you and for your environment. You're surrounded by it. And yeah, it's a good flow around you right now this month, my Scorpios. So very good energies, really good, very fertile energies. The next card I have talks to your desires. It talks about your desires, and it's the law of attraction. You just want to nurture. You just want to gather all of the energies, and I'm gonna, since I'm seeing this on here, all of the energies around you, and I'll say that these energies can be likened to stray dogs, cats, deer, tigers, lions, wolves, what, you name it, anything, any of the energies that just don't seem to really have an owner or have a home. You just want to gather them all up and take care of them, bring them into you, and you want to make ties with each and every single one of them and take care of them. That's what you want. That's what's showing up for you in your desires, your desire area this month. You just want to take care of almost everything that you lay your eyes on that isn't previously owned. Maybe even some of the ones that are previously owned. That's so interesting. Okay, next we have the card that shows what's already going in your favor, and that's have confidence. And this shows you've already got some sort of sense somehow of those waters that were mentioned initially, the waters from the ocean, that deep night ocean that were mentioned. You've got a sense, and it's, whether you know it or not consciously, it's part of what is grounding you so very well. That nurturing ocean, that dark nurturing ocean that hasn't fully made itself known to you or fully been made use of to you. But you have some inkling of its presence somewhere lurking around in your mind. But because you have that little bit of awareness of it somehow, and it is starting to sneak its way into your awareness, that's what gives you this groundedness. That's the source of your fertility and your stableness and your groundedness this month. So that's what I sometimes call the luck card. That's what you have in your favor going for you. What you have to work on, and there's that ocean in the background, what your challenge this month, and challenge only meaning something that you might have to work at a bit, is this card is titled Reward Yourself. This is telling me that again, you are already on stable, fertile ground. But you are going to need to work a little bit more, turn your attentions and your focus a little bit more back towards what some might call more impractical things, but it's not so at all. It's very practical, because this month you're being asked to work on more of a balance, maintaining a balance between your groundedness, the being grounded in this and rooted in this reality, this world, the physical things you can see, touch, taste, smell, the practical things, and with your spiritual side, with the spiritual energies that are beckoning you. And I think that these waters that we've been talking about all along are the key to that. That's a huge way for you to make use of those waters, is in harnessing those calm waters, those emotions all around you, harnessing those to balance the upper and the lower, your spiritualness, your spirituality, and your practicalness. So they're not hugely out of balance, but they do, your spiritual side does need attention as well, and it might have been kind of not the main focus recently, and it's asking you to kind of come back to that, give a more equal balance and more airtime to your spiritual side. And I think your emotions, all of that water you can make use of, is the key in maintaining balance and regaining balance. And how it can be a key is to get more in touch with those waters, with your emotions. They're there. You have inklings of them being there, but you have had your attention and been working on so many other things that they've just kind of been waiting there, sitting there, and gathering calmly, but gathering it and growing. But now it's time for you to make use of and delve in to their purpose for you. And I think part of that this month is discovering how they can best serve you, in what way you can best make use of them. And I think it's involving your spiritual side becoming closer to your practical side, meaning being more balanced in that, using those waters, your emotions, to balance those both out more, balance them to each other more, I should say. So then we have our card that shows the outside influences, what we don't have so much control over. It's just happening, influencing us from the outside. So this is Andriel. This is talking about travel. And it's talking about traveling to a place further, might not be outside of the country, but further than you usually go, further than you usually travel. I'm not really getting how, what influence this is having on you, but this month, but it is having an influence on you for June. Some sort of travel outside of your normal environment, likely out of state. Next, we have our divine guidance card. What advice God and your team, your heavenly team, have for you? And it says, listen. And I feel like this with this card, you're being asked to listen, of course, to your divine inclinations, divine nudgings and guidance, but this is leaning more so to listening to others, to those around you, to those who matter to you. Taking more time to listen instead of, and this sword up here, this sword is talking about how normally you're very good at using communication to cut through things that don't belong, to cut through to the truth, directly to the truth, in a very protective way of the truth, a very almost spiritual way, cut right to the soul of things, which is beautiful, but it's asking you to take time, especially this month, and put that sword away for a while, at least for a time, and listen more. Listen to those around you. Even if you have something to say, even if you can see the stuff that needs to be cut through right in front of your eyes to get to the truth, you can see what needs to be cut through in order to reveal the truth, even if you see it and it's more than tangible to you. Put down the sword, let it go. Focus more on listening. That's what you're being guided to do. That's important for some reason this month. And it's not saying that you're not good at listening. Not saying that at all. It's just saying that this is coming more to the forefront for this month for you. It's more important that you do that this month, so that things are not missed that could very easily be missed while you are cutting through to the truth, which is what, maybe what you're used to. So next it shows what your personal strengths are, what your strength is this month and for this situation. And this is Athena. Your strength comes in the fact that you stand very well in your own power. You have no problems with that. You stand well in your center and are not very easily knocked off of that center. So that's a wonderful tool to have in your kit, in your toolbox. Be aware of this. I'm sure many of you already are aware of this, that you're very powerful standing in your own seat of power. But maybe this, I really feel like this is a strength that you will be reminded of in this month. This is a strength that's going to come to the forefront to remind you, you have this as a tool, and maybe can use it even more consciously. It's of more use to you consciously this month. Because when we're aware of things, that's when we usually use them more effectively. Not that they're ineffective if we're not conscious of them, because it's always there, it's a strength. But putting it to the forefront consciously always makes our strengths more effective. The more we use them, the stronger they get, right? So now this is the outcome card. This is what is to be after all of these things play out this month for you in the rest of the meeting, especially if you, in the rest of the reading, especially if you follow the guidance and flow of this reading for you. And this is crystals, excuse me. This is talking about unique and amazing occurrences. And they're not saying what, but unique and amazing occurrences when all of this plays itself out this month. All of these other energies play itself out. You're just standing in a magical place is all I can say. Very unique, wonderful occurrences that you're going to love come out of this. That's what all of these energies are pointing you to. This place that you're going to, that you're heading in as your outcome for this month. You're just going to be amazed. And it's a place you've never been before, but you are going to be over the moon that this is where you've been led. And that, my Scorpio friends, is that. There's not much more to say. It's a really incredible reading. I love your energy. I love your energy this month. And if you guys want to leave comments on what the actuality of this outcome is, I'm really curious what magical experience awaits you. That's just me being nosy. But okay. Thank you, Scorpios. Blessings.